Hey team, and welcome. I'm your host, Carrie, creator of Mother Life, your destination for all things real talk and parenting. This is the IRL group chat, where we talk about the wild balancing act of pursuing careers and passions while also doing our best to show up for our kids. Join me every week as I sit down with some badass parents in my closet and we talk about their careers, kids, and relationships and all of the weird shit that comes up when you're trying to balance the seemingly impossible. When I was visiting my OB, pregnant with my second kid, and discussing the risks associated with my geriatric pregnancy, my doctor just shrugged it off. At 37, you're one of the youngest patients I have, she said. That really caught me by surprise. I, of course, knew plenty of people in my age bracket having kids, but I hadn't considered a full practice of people my age. That means a vast majority of these people have been full-fledged working adults in the world for as long as they were children under their parents' roofs. That up until this point, their entire identity was wrapped up in what they did for work and what things they liked doing outside of work. Do you see where I'm going with this? It is then only natural that as this geriatric generation becomes parents for the first time, we are all having identity epiphanies, revelations, crises in droves like never before. Literally, overnight in some cases, our entire chapter as independent adults in the world is rewritten in ways we don't necessarily expect. All of the things we were driving toward, wanting, dreaming of are now in question, maybe in flux, and certainly in direct competition with this new direction our families have taken. A direction that for most of us, we wanted our families to take. So what happens to those dreams we were chasing when we are now literally chasing little people around the house? We know we can't have it all. Even with hired help and grandparents and whoever else you're able to wrangle into your village, it's just not possible. And so the real work begins, figuring out what ends up on the cutting room floor. This week's guest had me thinking about what I could care less about in order to have more time for myself and my family. Yeah, you heard that right. What could I care less about? That's because Dr. Aegean Chan is figuring out how to keep what matters most, including her professional identity, delegating where she can, and letting the rest go in a way that I found so healing to hear from a high-achieving professional. Dr. Chan is a badass. She's a double board-certified dermatologist and dermapathologist. She's a mom of 3. She runs her successful Santa Barbara practice alongside her husband. She's educating the masses through her engaging and evidenced take on her Instagram account. She's been featured in the New York Times, Allure, Vogue, Prevention, Well and Good, all for her efforts. And that's just for starters. She's doing all of that while also saying, it's okay if Trader Joe's is my personal chef. It's okay if my daughter's ponytail isn't perfect. It's okay if I don't eat at the same time as my kids for dinner. Because loving on her kids and building her dreams at the same time is creating a new chapter for her identity, and she's making room for all of it. Enjoy. Aegean, welcome to the closet.
So happy to be here.
As I was just saying to you off camera, I am excited to talk to you because I love a doctor. I love a medical professional, part of like just my upbringing. It's very comforting to me, research, expertise, not having to do it all myself. And dermatology is like changed in maybe it's just because I've gotten older and so the scope has changed. Maybe it's social media, but growing up, dermatology is like, I'm going to get a wart burned off or frozen off or whatever it is. Or like, oh, I got this skin tag, I got to get checked out. And now dermatologists are like at the forefront of glamour, it feels. Maybe it's just because I'm in LA. I don't know.
It's definitely changed. So actually the history of the specialty, even before I went to med school, like in the 70s, it was sort of where the med school rejects went.
You do not strike me as a reject.
No,
Things have changed.
But now it's really become like the top of the class has the privilege to go into dermatology. So it's really changed the field.
Yeah.
But a lot of our mentors, like the people that trained us, are not med school rejects, but sort of like...
They're the outliers.
They're the outliers,
yeah.
Exactly. And it really was sort of like infectious disease adjacent.
Yeah.
So a lot of infectious disease shows up on the skin. So hence the warts, the herpes. That is actually my favorite area of dermatology.
So glam. She loves herpes.
like, I don't mind a genital wart. That is actually like bread and butter for a lot of dermatology.
Yeah.
Is still the skin growths, the rashes. If you flip through a derm textbook,
It's
not
gnarly.
pretty.
Yeah.
It's very Halloween-y because it's, visually striking and not
Oh my God.
not glamorous.
So, and we're going to get into like little Aegean and getting to today. And also, you're not my doctor, so it's fun because I'm not even like second guessing myself calling you by your first name. But like, I had my gastroenterologist on, and it was so hard for me to call her by her first name, even though she insisted. I was just like, I actually saw her today for an appointment, and I just went right back to, "Hi, Dr. Khanna."
Yeah.
It was like I had done something naughty. So we're going to get to little Aegean, but I want to stay on this for a minute just because there's so much to talk about. But you live in Santa Barbara.
I do.
Beautiful, like stunning nature. Lots of like more low-key celebs move there to be out of the LA hustle bustle. It ain't cheap these days. I know that's changed a lot. Does it have the same relationship with like plastic surgery and fillers and Botox as the LA crowd, or is it a little bit more surfery?
It's a little different because really Santa Barbara is mostly a retirement community. So it still is sort of like the Medicare population. And that's most of my patients.
Bread and butter, geriatric.
Yeah, we do your skin checks. We freeze some things off. We treat your skin cancer. So my husband and I actually have our own practice.
He's a derm too?
He's a derm too. We can get into that. And he specializes in skin cancer surgery. So there's a special technique called Mohs, micrographic surgery.
I've heard of this.
And so that's the bulk of what he does is that. And our practice, we started it because we are not really that aesthetic.
Yeah.
We really focus more on medical dermatology. We do some. It's mostly like for me, the way I do it is if a patient comes in for a medical reason, like if I'm doing your skin check, and you're like, "Hey doc, like I'm noticing this line. I'm noticing some signs of aging. What can I do about it?" And so we offer some things and can help our patients out. And that's sort of how we've positioned our practice.
Right. People aren't like, you didn't put up your shingle to like come get pumped and filled. It's like people are there anyway, and then they're just getting a little.
And so that really informs how I view it, because I do think a lot of dermatologists in LA have more of an aesthetics forward practice.
Yes, there's a lot of that.
And I think, it's this hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your employees, and it becomes its own subculture, I think, within dermatology.
Yeah.
I think you can choose to go that route, and I think that there are people that are experts in it and excellent at what they do.
Yeah.
That's not me. I would say that like I'm mostly medical. I'm like 90%.
You found the right pod.
I love it.
We love to talk about a herpes, a wart, a diarrhea. You found the right place.
If you want to see my cases from Africa,
oh my God.
I will be happy to show you.
I bet you've seen some things.
I have.
Okay, but now we have to get to the woman before she is removing things from patients in sub-Saharan Africa. First, we're starting with little Aegean, who grew up in Thousand Oaks.
I grew up in Thousand Oaks, but I was born in Hong Kong, and like you, spent a year there.
Yeah. Oh my God, you do know stuff about me.
I listened to your episode.
So, what are your parents Hong Kong Chinese, or how were?
Yes, so they both came when they were young from China, fleeing the communist regime.
Sure.
Into Hong Kong. So my mom came, I think, when she was 6, and my dad was around that age too, as sort of refugees to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And my dad is one of 5. And my mom is one of 8.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Would not have been a good place for them to be on the mainland during that time.
No. My parents, my mom, her family was on like the wealthy side.
Yeah.
So their family property was taken, and
they're just like filling up a suitcase.
They moved to the projects in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So 8 kids in like a 1-bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really fascinating. So how long were you in Hong Kong for?
I was there for a year.
Just a year. Okay. Yeah. So that's where you were born.
That's where I was born. But all my family's still there. So we would go back a lot.
I'm so jealous. Do you go back now at all? It's hard.
Since I've had kids, we haven't. And like
COVID.
Medical training, it's hard to leave for that long. But growing up, all through college, we would go probably every 1 or 2 years. And a lot of cousins there.
I miss it a lot.
The food.
The food. It's so good. Like, how do you feel about like a Portuguese egg tart or like a congee? Or like, what's your relationship with dim sum?
Oh, very positive. Very positive. What I was telling my husband that I miss the most is the silky tofu.
So good.
The silky tofu, and then also the long donuts with the soy milk on the side of the street. And my husband's not been yet, so
Guaylo?
Guaylo.
We got a white guy in the house, guys.
Yes.
Okay. Where is he from?
He grew up in Santa Barbara.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. So at some point, must go. I just talking about it is literally making me salivate.
Yeah, it's so good.
Can't even talk about it. Okay. So you spent that year in Hong Kong. You guys move and you land in Thousand Oaks from Hong Kong.
Yes.
And you have siblings?
I do. I have one younger sister.
So we're giving older sister energy?
You feel that,
Yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
for
Chief
sure.
resident.
She is 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
So it's like sort of a hybrid only child, older sister energy.
I wonder, did you like that split? Like, was when she came along, year 6, were you like, cool, I have a doll to play with? Or were you like, what the fuck is this?
Very negative.
Yeah.
It was a very negative experience for me as a child. At one family gathering, when nobody was looking, I stuck her in a backpack and fully zipped her up and walked away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, my definitely stories, I'm the youngest, of like my siblings trying to throw me away at various points. It just seems like a real calling card.
Yeah, it just was ruining my vibe. You know, I'm the kid that lines up all of her, tiny objects in her room.
Sure.
And I vividly remember her coming into my room and just...
Yeah. This is the dynamic in my home now.
Yeah.
And your kids are how many years apart?
2 years and 2 months for the
Okay.
oldest two, and then basically 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll never know that life. They just will only know the sort of like chaos of interlopers. They won't really like have that much time to be...
Which is why I wanted them close together, actually, because I think it's still in my mind.
Of what a change it was.
Exactly. So I don't want my oldest daughter who's exactly like me in terms of her like older child energy, very organized, and her younger sister drives her crazy.
Sure.
So I'm happy that growing like later in life she won't have the memory.
Yeah, they're having the upfront investment of the pain now.
Exactly.
So for payoffs later. Okay, so you move here, you are 1, and your parents have a while with just you to totally establish themselves and establish life here. What were they doing for work?
So my dad got sponsored selling medical devices. So he worked for a company called Baxter.
Yeah.
And they sold artificial heart valves and cardiac catheters. So I grew up with those things around the house as like toys.
Yeah.
And I remember for kindergarten, for show and tell, bringing an artificial heart valve as my show and tell.
That's pretty badass.
It was just all I knew.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool.
I think most kids would also think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, your teacher was probably like, "This is pretty cool." Yeah. We can't afford these in science class to look at this, but okay. So, and was your mom working, or was she trying to just like set up a whole life here?
At the time, I think she was working here and there. When I was later in elementary school, she got her real estate appraiser license. So she was hustling. She was driving all around. We had every Thomas guide in the back of our car.
And what was the Asian population of Thousand Oaks like?
None.
Sure.
My family was not that involved in them.
Yeah.
And in my school, there was one other Chinese girl named Catherine.
Yeah.
And people would always get us confused from the
Charming.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at least from the back.
From the back. Yeah.
Worse was from the front. Still not great.
Right.
And did you, as a kid, like have a sense of like, I don't look like everybody else?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely had that feeling of otherness. I would call myself an alien because I was a green card kid. I didn't get my citizenship until later.
Wow.
And so I would say, I'm an alien. And I distinctly remember I wished my name was Kelly. Like,
right.
I wished I was Kelly Kapowski.
Of course. Who didn't want to be Kelly Kapowski?
And all of my classmates were blonde.
Sure.
And my house smelled like Chinese food. So I really distinctly have that feeling of not belonging.
What kinds of things were in your lunchbox?
Oh, I would have like the rice.
So good.
With like, I mean, now
Right.
that is the best lunch.
Yeah.
But at the time, I wish
You're like,
that
I
had a
just want
Lunchable.
to, yeah, I just want a peanut butter and jelly.
Exactly.
Or like something with formaldehyde
Exactly.
in it.
Peel apart plastic.
And would you say your parents met any of the sort of like classic stereotype immigrant parent things about like expectations for you and your sister about what you would do professionally and stuff like that?
Definitely. I mean, we definitely weren't a stereotypical tiger. My mom was not a tiger mom.
Yeah.
But what was emphasized to us growing up was self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
So my parents would be like, you see that family? The mom is divorced. If she didn't have a skill, it'd be very hard for her to survive.
That's kind of feminist too, though. I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yes. And so in my mind, it's like I always have to do something in which I can support myself.
Yeah.
So those were the classic, doctor, lawyer. You need a profession in order to sort of support yourself and have a sure thing.
Yeah. Sure thing's better than, a big bet.
Right. Exactly.
I'm thinking about tiger moms. I'm wondering, I feel like tiger moms came later. Don't you think? Like, I feel like when we were growing up, the tiger mom thing wasn't a thing yet.
I don't think there was a name.
But it was definitely there.
But I think that I've known other people.
Yeah, who were like being trucked around to like violin classes
piano,
and da-da-da.
And my mom was sort of like, I took piano for a month and I'm like, not feeling this. She would let me quit.
Amazing.
And she would tell me I love you. And I have friends that...
Forget it, yeah.
Yeah, they'd never heard their parents say those words to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had the wonderful Vanessa Du on. She's one of the founders of Health Aid Kombucha. Mm-hmm. And she said, she's like, I don't remember I love you at all. Yeah. Growing up. Yeah.
So it wasn't that sort of extreme, but it was still like you bring home an A-, you get a side eye, and next time better be an A+.
And did you feel like you put any of that pressure on yourself, or was it totally from your parents?
I think it was a combination.
Yeah.
I think genetically, I was born with that drive to do it for myself.
Yeah.
Like my mom to this day, she says like, I never had to look at your homework.
Yeah.
She's like, I never had to make sure you were doing your stuff because you were always doing your stuff. But I think that the bar being super high, there was definitely that external motivation from my parents.
Did you ever go buck wild? Did you ever have a period where you were just like I'm going to be a party animal? Like when you went to college?
Never. Med school.
Yeah.
I moved to New York.
Right.
For med school. So
Einstein.
It's the best place.
Yeah, we had another Einstein. I think my gastro, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so did you go buck wild when you were in med school?
Unfortunately, a little bit.
Studying warts? No, the warts came later.
Yes.
That was what you specialized. But like, what a great place. You're so far from home and you're in New York City.
Oh, it was amazing. And I was actually talking to my husband the other day how I always felt sort of like an outsider. I think the California vibe is very specific.
Sure is.
Beach girl, carefree. I think people talk about like the weather and vacations a lot.
Yeah.
And it was when I moved to New York, I was like, oh, this fits better.
Totally.
The vibe fits better. Like,
yeah.
Little negative, like a little stressed. And you can get into an intellectual conversation with a stranger.
Totally. And the ambition's on hyperdrive.
Yeah.
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 But did you know you wanted to move back?
No. I was so I met my husband after med school.
Okay.
And
where did you meet him?
I met him at Mount Sinai.
Aww.
So we're both California kids.
That's in New York, for the record,
yes,
everybody.
New York City. We both ended up in New York for med school, didn't know each other, and then we met intern year. So the first year after med school, when you go into dermatology, you have to do 1 year of general medicine.
Yeah.
So we were essentially sort of like that Grey's Anatomy. You're in the
hospital,
yes,
I was gonna ask
24/7.
about that. Okay, you're just in this like pressure cooker, and you're not seeing the light of day, and you're just like with these people.
Yes.
And you're all like sort of young and attractive and tired.
So fun.
Amazing. Okay, so you bond over like dealing with skin cancer and working crazy hours, and he's from Santa Barbara.
He's from Santa Barbara.
Now, what about him, besides of his love of warts, were you really into?
His sense of humor.
That's a good one.
He just really made me like belly laugh.
Yeah.
And for me, that was always my my non-negotiable for
Yeah.
anybody I dated. Like, you had to be funny, you had to make me laugh, and he's just a really goofy, carefree guy, and I think he counterbalances my type A-ness
Yeah.
by being just a little bit more free-flowing, carefree.
He's the California to your New York.
He is, but he also loves New York City.
Yeah?
As much as I do. But his mom is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So he has, like, sort of that...
He has some
lightness.
flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not just like a classic surfer white boy.
Right.
Santa Barbara white boy.
Exactly.
And so you go through medical school. Your sister, so you're in your 20s at this point. Your sister is still in high school or finishing high school?
Yeah, so we were not close growing up.
Sounds like you try to throw her away.
I tried to throw her away. She was like, I'd be like hanging with my friends.
Yeah.
And she would slip notes under the door, be like, please, can I play with you?
That was me.
And it was sad for her, I think.
Yeah.
And then I go to UCLA for undergrad. And then I took a year off before moving to New York for med school. So I moved home. And so she was in high school and I had just finished college. And that's when we became really close and actually hung out. And
That's really sweet. Also, taking a year off is truly the most non-type A thing you could have done. So how wonderful for you.
it was the best. I mean, I worked at Amgen, which is a biotech company in
Yeah.
Thousand Oaks. And so I was doing cell culture. And
Great.
Yeah.
The little like jelly stuff on the Petri dish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was also running PCRs. It was great.
Now, Thousand Oaks is it considered a suburb of LA? It's
At the time,
Sort of?
I think it's become its own thing now. But
Yeah.
when I was growing up, most people commuted to LA.
right.
It was sort of like Valley adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are having this bonding experience, and is she still in California?
She is. She lives in Torrance.
And does she do something medical?
No.
Is she an interpretive dancer? What is she up to?
She wishes. She's going to laugh when she hears this. She wishes she was a professional improv interpretive dancer, probably. She's
my
got
God.
a very creative side to her, but she is she started as an auditor
Yeah.
for one of the big four accounting firms.
Sure.
And now she does more like HR type consulting.
I love it when loved ones try and describe what each other does. Like if I were to call my mom right now and be like, Mom, tell me what I do for a job. I mean,
Word diarrhea.
right. Like the number of things that she would come up with before she got close. So I hope she does listen to this and I hope she checks you on it. Also, I love that the through line here is she too was taught you better do something reliable and responsible.
Exactly.
And how old is she now?
She is 35.
Okay, so she's 35. So in 5-ish years, she'll call us. She will have completely broken free of this system.
Yes.
She'll have started her own dance studio. Will be in her next chapter.
Great.
Her midlife awakening. I hope for her, unless she's
hope
super
so,
happy. What's your sister's name?
Gwen.
Gwen. Hey, Gwen, if you're listening. She loves you now. Sorry about the backpack thing. Okay, so you go to college. You have this sense that you want to be in medicine. Had you like always known you wanted to be a doctor?
Always. Always.
And I'm sure the parents were supportive of this dream.
Very encouraging, overly encouraging, for sure. But I loved it. I
Yeah.
mean, my dad, one thing about my dad is that he loves to learn.
Yeah.
Like, he was always taking us to museums. We were going to, like, that Hindu temple in Malibu. You know,
Yeah.
going to, like, non-traditional places to take children.
Yeah.
When we were children. So I think that's really instilled a love of just curiosity. And I think medicine is a really good fit for that.
Unending.
It's so fun.
But also you have to be able to marry that without like getting the ick easily. Cause like especially you do. Like, do you like to pop a pimple?
No, I usually
What do you think?
that.
Yeah, it's
But
not
it
supposed
is
to be good.
strangely satisfying.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was the med student that like during cadaver lab first year, like I was like, I'm gonna read the paper. I'm gonna stand in the corner.
Sure.
So for me, I did have a little bit of that to overcome.
The cadaver ick. The cadaver ick.
I couldn't watch like medical shows, like or like, you know, TLC had that surgery show they would
Yes.
show. I couldn't do it.
No.
And so I really feared, and I've passed out a few times in hospital settings.
I honestly have never heard this from a doctor, and I'm finding it strangely, like, healing in a way. So great. Okay.
Yeah. So
Squeamish.
I was a little squeamish. So I did fear, in third year, you go into every area of medicine and you do a couple months there. And so I had some nervousness about that. But you get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much was Grey's Anatomy? You mentioned it earlier. Like, what do you think that show got right? And what do you think was, like, totally... Or was it more of a Scrubs situation?
Scrubs, I think, is more medically accurate.
Okay.
It's got that humor. I think a lot of doctors have a dark humor.
Yeah.
To them. I think the only thing that Grey's Anatomy got right is, like, some of the relationship shenanigans. I think there's some of that.
Clearly there were shenanigans.
No.
Aegean.
Nothing ever happened in the hospital. But, I mean, he would just help me put in IVs in the middle of the night.
That's love.
And we actually resuscitated a person together.
Wow.
That's one of our core couple stories.
You're just locking eyes. And...
He
Wow.
held my hair back. I'd be like, hold my hair back.
Babe,
Yeah.
get my hair. I'm breathing life into somebody. That's really cute. Okay, so then you guys leave. Where in the picture does having kids, like, enter the discussion?
So we both did our dermatology residencies in New York.
Yeah.
So we stayed for that. That was actually really lucky.
Wait, we didn't even talk about when you're a chief resident, because you were. Is there a power that comes with that?
No, it's a burden. People say with, like, a lot of power. There's
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, great. Too much responsibility.
Yeah.
It's very stressful because you're in charge of making everybody's schedules.
Oh, I would hate
their work
that.
schedules.
I would hate that.
So there was a lot of...
And, like, people probably are mad at you and stuff, too.
People were mad at you a lot.
Yeah.
And you had to enforce. So basically you were the middleman between all the residents and your attendings, like the people that ran the program that are like, this needs to happen. And then we were in charge of making that happen. And it wasn't that.
So what's the perk? Is it just the kudos and the resume booster? I mean, it probably prepares you for having your own business, right?
Yes, definitely. But it wasn't that fun. It's not glamorous.
It's not that glam.
No. It's like
There's no crown.
Yeah, there's no crown. No.
There's no scepter. Okay. Wait, and also, before I forget, do your parents, like, love the Aegean Sea? Where did this name come from?
So, no, I was not conceived there.
Okay.
But that's the most
I didn't ask it like that, okay? I just asked if they liked it.
Just wanted to lay it all out there. But so in Hong Kong and in Chinese culture, I think that a lot of the names are made by a fortune teller.
Yes.
So you send your stats to the fortune teller, like the time and date you were born, and they look at all the celestial charts and they come up with a set of brushstrokes that are the most fortuitous for you. And so the Chinese name that I got was Chun Hoi Kum, which my parents tell me I don't speak Chinese, but they tell me this is the word for the Aegean Sea. And because my dad is such a sort of a history literary buff, he was like, that's a great name. My mom was like, I want to name you Karen. And
Close to Kelly.
Yeah, close to Kelly.
But also probably for the best that you're not a Karen.
Yeah. I appreciate it now.
Yeah.
But, like...
Growing up Aegean,
First, I was usually near the top of the list, and my teachers would always trip over my name.
Yeah.
Aegean, so it was a stressful experience as a child.
Yeah. But now we're into it.
But now I like it.
And your sister just got Gwen.
She's Guinevere.
Guinevere.
Spelled the old English
Ooh,
way.
Okay. So she has her own cross to bear.
Yes,
it sounds
she
like.
does.
Good job, parents. Did you use the chart thingy for when you got married too? I know that's a thing, like getting married on an auspicious day.
No.
Not that Chinese.
My family's sort of, it's like here and there.
Yeah. We're picking and choosing.
Exactly.
Okay. When you're forced to exile, like, where you're from, I think, like, you are given the full right to just take what you like and say fuck you to the rest, quite frankly.
So. Yeah.
Okay. So now we are tootling along. You guys are married. You did your residencies in New York, both of you. Mm-hmm. And then where does the kid discussion come into the picture? And like, did you know you wanted to have kids?
Definitely both of us were on the same page, wanted to have kids, but we wanted to wait till until we were completely done with training.
Yeah.
Because I think
5,000 years.
I calculated the other day. I think it was like 16 years, including undergrad.
Sure.
But I think we've seen co-residents try to go through with training while having a baby, raising young kids, and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of you do both things not as well as you would want to.
Yeah.
And so we both did fellowships. So my husband did his Mohs fellowship in Pittsburgh. So we spent a year there. And then we came back to New York and I did my dermatopathology fellowship.
What does that mean?
So basically, when that dermatologist you see cuts that mole off, it gets put in a jar.
Yeah.
That gets sent to a lab.
They're always sending things to the lab.
Yes. So
yeah.
It gets processed and put on a little slide.
Yeah.
And that slide comes to somebody like me.
Okay.
And I look at that under the microscope and write the report and say, this is what I saw.
Bueno or no bueno.
Exactly.
Got it. Huh. Okay, you're the mysterious lab. Now I know what
Yes.
happens. Because they're always like, we're just going to cut this out and send it to the lab. They're sending everything to the lab. Like, you have a kid, and they're like, we're just going to throw that umbilical cord or whatever. We're going to take it to the lab.
Yeah.
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 Got my intestines come out. We're just going to throw that to the lab.
Oh, yeah.
Labs are very busy.
Yeah, they're very busy.
Okay, so you go back to New York, you do your fellowship, and then...
And then we decided it's time to start a family. Let's move back to California. My husband's parents are here. My parents are here. My sister's here. So it was time to move back out west.
And what came first, starting your own business with your husband or having the kid?
We started our business after our oldest daughter was born. She was a year when we started our own business.
Wow.
That was a lot.
And in that first year, what were your biggest, like, surprise moments, if any, about bringing a life into the world? Given you had just spent 16 years dedicated to your profession, and then you get, like, pretty unceremoniously ripped from that when a kid comes into the picture.
Oh, I have so many thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Because I just think nobody talks about the identity shift as much as they should.
Yeah.
Because I think that was really difficult for me.
Yeah.
So before I had my daughter, I actually had a second trimester pregnancy loss.
Horrible.
It was horrible.
Horrible.
It was horrible. But after that happened, I spent like 5 months just like deep diving into like grief. Like I read every book I could find. I basically did my
you type aid your grief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is actually a really helpful concept for life.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really talk about it. I think culturally in America, it's like, arm's length. And it really helped me, I think, once I became a mother to a live baby, it helped me sort of conceptualize that shift.
Yes.
From being just an independent person, I can nap whenever I want, I can do whatever I want, to being dependent on. Like, that was so hard for me.
Well, and also, like, you go into a room and people aren't asking you about, like, the coolest, most interesting paper you just wrote. They're like, how are your boobs doing? How's the baby sleeping? And it's like, those questions are fine, especially coming from your close friends. But it's like, do you want to know the, like, cool stuff I'm thinking about that has nothing to do with this?
And I think I was listening to one of the episodes you're talking about. It's like that piece of you pre-kids, it disappears.
And to your point, you figured out how to mourn the loss of that, or that possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just processing it and processing like what I can and can't do. Like, I
Yes.
think especially as a mother and as a primary parent, like, you are on the hook.
Yes.
To sacrifice what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I really felt that.
Do you ever get mad about that?
All the time.
I do too. Get really mad about it.
I mean, Mondays are my worst days.
Yeah.
You're catching me on
Monday fun day now. But I think you're in this like super interesting position because you and your husband literally have a business together and you have children together. And so in terms of like a social experiment, it's kind of perfect because you have a lot of things that you can control for.
Yes.
And then you have this really big difference, which is like who had the kids.
Right.
and the gender stuff and like the expectation stuff. So did you guys ever upfront have like this is our division of labor responsibilities chat, or how did that sort of fall into place?
So with our first daughter, not really. And I feel like with one kid, two adults, it's like sort of easier to navigate that because there's just more like extra time and energy to do that. It wasn't until our second daughter was born. I think we were like maybe 2 months in, and my husband sat me down. He was still working. Like he took 2 weeks off and then went back to work.
Yeah.
Business has to run and he has to see patients. And he was like, hey, like, I know you need an extra set of hands around bedtime. Like, it's very overwhelming for you, but I don't think I can always be that person.
Yeah.
And it really, I think having that conversation was very good.
Yeah.
Because it was like, how can we resource that for you?
Yeah.
Like, instead of being like, I'm resentful of you.
Yeah.
Because you're not here to support me in this. Like, how can we, like, make you feel like you have sufficient resources? And we're in a place where we have that option, which is...
Yeah. The two doctors, guys. Were you at all, like, was your knee-jerk reaction to hear him, or were you just, like, mad about it? My knee-jerk reaction would be to be mad about it. That's why I'm asking. Is, like, but, like, we both made these kids. Like, why is this now happening to me?
Right. Right. Like, why am I the one that is like, needs to ask for more help?
Yeah.
And I think...
I mean, good on him for being proactive.
Yes. And before, I think with my first kid, I was very much more like the 50-50. And I think now with multiple kids, I see sort of the division of labor and the zones of labor. And it's uneven, but he runs the business.
Right.
He's our office manager. He... make sure everything is going. So I sort of see that as his zone of responsibility. Yeah. And I'm like peripheral on that.
So that keeps him from getting murdered.
Yeah. That's what I think. Because I do see that he is always working. So.
And I forget. I don't think so. In medical school, maybe you do. Do you do like this is how to run a business?
Absolutely not.
Maybe they do it in law school. I think they started adding that into law school. But it is crazy to me that like, a lot of medical professionals are running their own businesses.
There are.
Yeah.
But I also think that there are a lot of physicians that wish they could, but feel like they don't have the skills.
Interesting.
And so my husband and I we talk to a lot of our colleagues that are sort of like, working for the man and feel a little constrained by that. And we really try to, preach the run your own business. Yeah. It's not that bad. You can do it. And like, having kids, having that flexibility, it's been really
worth it.
It's taken off that extra layer of stress, I think.
And did you always know that you wanted to have 5,000 children, aka 3 children? Guys, she's talking to us today. She has a 4-month-old at home. She's here. She drove here from Santa Barbara. She's looking at 10 out of 10, and she has a 4-month-old. It's like my brain cannot compute it. I can't compute. I held a 3-month-old the other day and I was just like, you were so cute. I'm never doing this again. So you like knew you had another one in you.
Yes, because I think growing up is sort of with only child vibes. Yeah. And even with my sister, the house was kind of quiet. Yeah. And I when I saw families with 3 kids, there was just like always a lot of energy. There was more of a party vibe. And I think my husband and I both want that. And he's an only child.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So, but he has step siblings.
Yeah.
So he grew up like part-time when he was with his dad in sort of a rambunctious, like lots of kids around.
So he like knew what that could look like.
Exactly. And so I think both of us, when it came time to decide.
Yeah.
And I am 41.
Yeah.
So we're on a little bit of a tighter time schedule.
Sure.
Because I think if I were younger, I was like, maybe I would have waited an extra year.
I thought you were going to say maybe I would have had more.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But we both were like, logistically, it seems like we cannot overcome. It's too many logistics. It's too difficult. But my thought experiment to him was like, if I had told you the shop is closed, we're no longer having kids.
How would you feel?
Feeling?
Yeah.
And he was like, that would make me really sad. And so that was the clincher.
Wow.
And we're just like, okay, we'll figure out the logistics. Let's do it.
And you're figuring it out.
And we're figuring it out.
And right now you have a little potato. And you're back at work now?
I am
Sort of?
here and there. I'm working on a project, and
Yeah.
so I've been doing a lot of Zooms, which has
Okay.
actually been my favorite maternity leave because
You're not totally disconnected.
I'm using my brain.
Yeah.
He's with me on my Zooms.
Of
You
course.
can see his little head, and people are delighted by that. And it's helped that postpartum loneliness.
Yes.
That I think is really
Pervasive, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about that postpartum period, or even like in pregnancy too. Like, my skin took a total fucking nosedive. Like, I was getting like crazy cystic acne before, and then you can't use anything because nothing's pregnancy safe. And then afterwards, and like it still hasn't really gone back. I'm now just got prescribed a bunch of creams and stuff from my derm here. Did you yourself notice any changes in your like skin or body or otherwise that you weren't necessarily expecting?
I think skin-wise, increased sensitivity. So before I had kids, I was like pouring acid on my face. Like retinoids. Like my face is peeling off and it was no problem. And since I've had kids, I've noticed I'm a lot more sensitive.
Yeah.
So I'm, much more cautious. I'm, doing retinoids just a couple times a week. And that was definitely a big thing for me. I was lucky I sort of dodged the acne bullet for the most part. I mean, I had some breakouts.
Yeah.
And I had teen acne, but
I didn't. So I just was like, I don't even know what to do with this.
it's terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And then in terms of sort of thinking about skincare in general, your kids are sort of like too young to be caught up in all of this Sephora of it all and the whatever. But obviously you want to make sure that they're taking good care of their skin. We were talking earlier and you said that like you've made putting on sunscreen, for instance. I mean, 2 derms as parents, that's like really irrefutable. They've got to put the sunscreen on.
Oh, my husband's a redhead.
So is my son.
Aww.
Aww.
Love the redhead.
So very sensitive then.
Yeah, he's very anti-sun. Like we
Right.
live in Santa Barbara and we don't go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Rude.
I mean, to be honest, I am pretty lax about my kids' regular skincare.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for kids, wash their face.
Yeah.
I don't even use a cleanser. Like my daughter's 5 and I just wash it with water and
Yeah.
her sunscreen for the most part like melts off.
Yeah.
And then I sometimes have to battle her putting moisturizer on her face. They're like have a little bit of eczema.
Yeah.
Right
I was going
now,
to say, I
have
feel
some
like
dry skin.
so many kids have eczema.
Yes.
Is that always been the case?
I think so. It's pretty common for the under 5 set.
Yeah.
It's really common. And then a lot of kids tend to grow out of it. Some don't.
My dude is definitely not growing out of it. He's just like a covered eczema ball.
Ugh, I
Poor
know.
guy.
And it's tough to the thing with eczema is you have to just be consistent with slathering and greasing them up, and that's literally impossible.
I'm not consistent.
I'm not consistent either. My daughters have dry skin on their face all the time.
I, again, love to hear it. I love to hear, like, that my accountant doesn't like filing their taxes. Like, I like hearing that people who are in their professional lives still struggle with these things in their personal life.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm very much a mom that's like, if I don't need to think about it, I'm not going to do it.
Yes.
Like, I don't brush
Same.
my kids' hair every day.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get the slick back ponies. They don't match. Like, 'cause
Yes.
for me, that is not worth the effort.
Yeah. Preach. Yes. I think you know your audience, which is me
Yes.
right now.
But the sunscreen.
The sunscreen, that's a non-negotiable.
That's a non-negotiable, and there's lots of little tricks. So
What's your favorite one?
the blue roll-on. So a lot of parents are into sticks.
Okay.
And we do use sticks, but you're not getting like a ton of product on.
Okay.
There have been other influencers that have done like studies where
No, you're good.
you're not getting enough product on with the stick. Like you have to. Like,
Oh,
really go over it.
interesting.
Like, one swipe is not sufficient to get the SPF protection stated.
Shit, you just blew some people's days up on here just now.
Sorry.
Okay, but
So
you have a solution
But
for us.
I really like the roll-on. So
Okay.
Sunbum makes a kid's roll-on and Coppertone makes a kid's roll-on. And
Okay.
the Coppertone one is blue.
Okay.
So I've had some mom friends that have struggled with sunscreen for their kids, and they found the blue is really fun for them. Like it's like face painting.
And then
So
does
they
it
can
just
roll it on? So I give it to my kid, and I'm like, just roll it on.
and then do they walk around like an Oompa Loompa all day, or
I mean,
like a
You
blueberry?
would have to like rub
Okay.
it in, or you could sort of incorporate that into the game.
Sure.
But or like if you're at the beach.
Okay. We're going to put your favorites in the show notes for people because I think you just blew a bunch of people's days up with this stick situation. I just basically like hog tie my children and put on sunscreen like when they're mad at me the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
I tried a beauty blender, all of that shit. It doesn't.
No, I think my second daughter loves applying sunscreen. She's a sensory kid.
Sure. Okay.
So I think so I'll just hand it to her and she'll go to town. She looks crazy, but I'm the parent that does not care.
Yeah.
If you walk in looking like a ghost to your classroom, that's your thing.
Fine.
Like, great.
I love that. I love how chill you are because your resume doesn't read chill. Like you're top of the class, chief resident, doing all this stuff. And then like in your free time, you're like, I like to do nature photography and all this other stuff. It's like, you have your own business. I don't really know how you're doing all of it, but it sounds like you've just decided that some things are not worth caring about.
Yes.
And I love that for us.
Mm-hmm.
All of us.
Most mothers need to evaluate what they care about.
And then I think we have a bunch of listener questions. People love to ask a derm questions. I will take privilege before I get them out, the notes, of asking a couple of my own. 1, why are dermatologists obsessed with Cetaphil and CeraVe? Obsessed.
I'm one of them. I'm Camp Cetaphil, though.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I mean, the companies drop off tubs of that stuff at our office.
Yeah.
They're at the conferences. So I think there is just an exposure. They're exposing themselves to dermatologists all the time. That sentence didn't come off that great.
It's okay. It's not like Cetaphil's walking around in a trench coat.
But basically.
Opening it up with a big spout of lotion.
But I think that's a big part of their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And it has worked. But I do think that as products, they perform universally well for most people. So every patient I recommend them to, they're like, thanks, doc. That worked great. This is better than whatever I pick up at Costco. Thank you. And so I think that encourages us to keep recommending it.
Yeah.
It's like
you're getting
wheel.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton of really great products, but those are at a great price point.
Yeah.
They work for a wide range of skin types. They're well formulated. So I think that's why they get a lot of love.
The bee in my bonnet about it is I want to have fun. I want things in cute little tubs with like a fun branding opportunity. I want to open a cute box. I want to like do all the stuff that everybody else gets to do. But my skin's really fucked up, so I can't do that. I got to just open the little CeraVe. Oh, look, it's white and blue today. It's always white and blue.
It's not fun.
It's a real bummer.
It doesn't have the ritual.
It doesn't have the razzmatazz.
It doesn't. No, they got to work on that. I don't know. Cetaphil does have the little jar, the rich hydrating facial moisturizer. So it's still the green and white, but it's like a small jar that gives a little.
I need a full rebrand from them. So if you guys are listening, I mean, you want to send me product. Too late because my dermatologist already gave me a bucket. But I do think you should consider a rebrand because girls with bad skin want to have fun too.
True.
It's
true.
So that's my plea. I'm gonna get my questions from our listeners, which I think I put in my clothes somewhere. Or no, I put it over here. That was responsible. The other question that I'm taking privilege on is why? Once a year, do my lips want to fall off my face? I know it's like the change of the...
Is it usually in the fall?
Yeah. I'm in my annual shedding right now. It's happening right now.
It's the change in weather. The humidity really drops in the fall. And sometimes people kick on their... if you're in the East Coast, you kick on your heater. So that just sucks the moisture out of the air. And our lips are this like weird transitional zone between our regular skin and your mucosa. So it has less of a robust barrier. So it's, even your facial skin, you may feel a little dry, but it's obviously not peeling off.
Yeah.
The lips just aren't as resilient. They have less oil glands.
So what do we do?
You need to slather on the thickest stuff you can find. So
I'm currently using nipple cream.
Yes. Yes. I think it's very underrated, but so on Instagram, I talk about this, like this season, we talk about lip lickers dermatitis, because that's the other thing. Saliva has enzymes that break things down. So when you lick your lips, you get in this negative cycle of you're actually dry. Once the saliva dries out, then your skin is more irritated and more dry. So you have to stop licking your lips.
Vicious cycle. Yeah.
Vicious cycle. And get on the nipple cream.
Yeah,
Lanolin
that's
is
what I'm
really
using,
great.
yeah.
A lot of people have come into my like comments and DMs. So like the only thing that helped my dry lips was nipple cream.
Yeah.
But
There
you
is
could
one
also-
product now, Lana Lips,
Yes.
which a friend is obsessed with, which I will also put in the show notes, which I just she bought me some because she's very sweet and I complain about this all the time. She's trying to shut me up. I do need to start using it more.
Or even like Vaseline or Aquaphor, just
Yeah.
like the greasy stuff, and putting it on like every hour.
I'm going to add them to the Cetaphil and CeraVe. The way Aquaphor and Vaseline have a hold on our lives,
It's really
like Cetaphil and CeraVe. I mean, these companies, they're probably all owned by the same person. They know how to get to us.
they do.
Okay. So I'm going to just cover myself in nipple cream and Vaseline from now on. Let's get to some of these listener questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't even know what this totally means, but what can I do before I get a half facelift? What's a half facelift?
I am not a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
And I don't do a ton of aesthetics, but I
What's-
think it's just the lower face.
Okay.
Maybe includes the neck.
So, well, this same person had a related question to like, how do you help with an aging neck?
So,
You don't.
well, you can. So my plug for any of this stuff, sort of like in-office procedures, surgical options, the sooner you start, the less invasive you may have to go. Meaning, like, I would say I have a lot of patients in their sort of like mid 40s. I'm just starting to notice like a little laxity. You know, it's not looking as tight as it used to.
Yeah.
And so that's when I say, I'm like, that's a great time. You could do a little toxin, a little Botox injection just to kind of relax the muscle and it makes it look less saggy. You can get various procedures that stimulate that collagen that can sort of do tightening, but the improvement from any of these procedures is like millimeters. So if you're in your 60s or 70s and you have a lot of laxity,
You're not going to notice a difference.
with those procedures, it's really hard to get a good result.
Yeah.
So I would say the earlier you start on things, the earlier you intervene, you could keep up with that and probably get farther, and you may be able to avoid surgical,
Okay.
going down the surgery path. But genetics is also, I think, for neck too, is
Hi.
a high factor.
I do appreciate that you have this like, oh, it's a millimeter change, because I think sometimes somebody does get like a half facelift and then they posted that it was some other procedure that they did.
Microneedling.
Right. And you're like, feels like that's like a bigger needle than a microneedle. So that is useful to know that like that's where the bar is. We talked about this probably briefly related to big Cetaphil, but are all super expensive branded creams BS? Like, are there some very expensive skincare things that are actually worth it?
So
If money was no object.
If money were no object, I think in general, I think it's mostly marketing and packaging. Those glass jars are expensive.
Noted.
Those little spatulas are expensive.
Yeah.
But so I think most of it is marketing and luxury. I sort of think I use the analogy of like a bag. So
Yeah.
like a canvas tote bag and a Louis Vuitton tote, they function the same, but you get a different feeling using the more high-end
Right.
luxury option. And so I think that is the appeal, right? Like you were saying, the luxury, the
Yeah.
heavy jar, like all of that plays into the appeal. So if you have the budget for it and you love it and it adds to your life and you love how the product feels and smells, I think that's amazing. But I think what is the bee in my bonnet
Yeah.
is this feeling that you have to spend a lot of money to have good
Yeah.
skin
Yeah.
versus like these are options. And I think you can have really good skin using sort of those more affordable drugstore products.
Yeah.
And then saving your money for like a few select in-office treatments. So
That's smart.
that's how I stand on
Yeah.
it. But like the La Mers, I don't recommend those. we have SkinCeuticals disclosure.
Yeah.
We have that, some of the products in our office, and I
Yeah.
really like the Tripid Lipid Repair. They put a lot
You said that so well.
Did I?
Tripid lipid?
Triple
Yeah. Lipid?
It is a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Triple Lipid Repair, I think. But they put a lot of money into research.
Yeah.
So and it smells good, it feels good, but I also am like, don't feel the pressure. If
Yeah.
you're out of your budget, Cetaphils. I'm a Cetaphil girl.
I was going to ask, what do you do? I mean, and do you feel pressure that your skin needs to be on point? You have beautiful skin. But do you feel like you got to make sure it's on fleek?
A little.
Because, I mean,
it's that's what I do.
Yeah.
You gotta, and I think patients like to see.
Yeah.
That's like that's a little aspirational.
Yeah.
But I'm really not like, I'm not a 10-step girly. I do the Cetaphil when I remember. I put on a retinoid like once a week, and it's just like whatever I have the bandwidth for, and it's usually just washing my face in Cetaphil.
We're keeping it simple. We're keeping sunscreen. What's your favorite sunscreen for you?
I've been into the Korean sunscreens.
Okay. I don't know anything about a Korean sunscreen. I mean, I know about Korean skincare, I guess, but
I'm very much a texture person.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel like it's really hard to find a facial sunscreen that you put on your face that doesn't feel like a sunscreen.
Yeah.
So I like the Beauty of Joseon sunscreens. They're really light on
Okay.
the skin. And the trick about sunscreen is that you really need to put a lot on. So
I'm definitely not doing
if
that.
you're putting like, a dab, maybe like a third of a fingertip, you're getting probably about 30% of the SPF that's on the bottle.
Woof.
So I usually estimate is like 2 thick finger lengths. That's how much sunscreen I put on every morning.
On your face?
On my face.
Wow. I am learning so many things today, guys. I'm definitely not doing that. 2 fingers.
2 fingers. It's a lot. So that's why you need to find a sunscreen where the finish is good enough that you can get that much on your face without feeling goopy.
Have you tried the Elta MD one?
Yes, that's my other favorite.
Okay.
UV Clear.
Yeah.
We have that in our office. I love that. But it's a little price prohibitive.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and you go through that little bottle fast.
Yeah.
And I find the Korean sunscreens are priced at a better price point. They're like under 20. So I like slather it all over, and I just buy like 12 tubes at once, and I just have them in a drawer.
Okay. So it sounds like we are going to have a lot of fun things to put in the show notes today for everybody, because these are all really good recs. Okay. Is there anything people can be doing besides sunscreen to prevent wrinkles?
So prevention is always going to be more effective than trying to fix the problem on the back end. I think that Botox is the most effective way. So if you're starting to see etched in lines, I think weird. Yeah,
they're hiding under that.
Hiding under that. I think doing it even twice a year or even once a year, because what you're doing is you're relaxing the muscle so you don't get that repetitive movement that's causing the crease. So even you don't have to be frozen. Yeah. But I think just inhibiting that muscle movement a little bit can help the progression of that. Retinols can also help, but that really mostly targets fine lines and texture. Yeah. And some of that crepiness. Yes. But for those like deep furrows, Botox really.
And let's be real, every fucking mom has a deep furrow.
Really?
And we're furrowing hard.
Yeah.
All day long.
All the time.
All day long.
Your kids are asking why you're mad. And then,
you're like, now my face is just stuck like this.
But I had a friend who she said that she was getting Botox and then she was due, and her son was like, "Why are you looking so mad at me, Mom, all the time?"
Go get me a snack is what I'd say, dude. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so we do have something we can do preventatively in addition to sunscreen, which is number 1. So this is an interesting question. Like, obviously our kids are not at the teenage stage yet. And we talked a little bit about how unfun it is to not have fun products. This person, I think, has teenage kids and is asking about like products or routine do you recommend that aren't the like hot to have Sephora items, but like actually good skincare? Is it the same thing that you're saying here, which is wash your face with a Cetaphil or CeraVe, moisturize with a Cetaphil or CeraVe, and call it a day for our teens?
And sunscreen.
And sunscreen.
And sunscreen. For the teens, but I was actually talking to an 11-year-old yesterday.
Yeah.
I was asking her, I was like, are your friends into skincare? What's the deal? And she was like, yeah, a lot of them are doing acids and doing like.
They're doing acid. Thought that meant something different.
Yeah. So I would say definitely as a mom,
Yeah.
because it can be hard to keep track of your kids. You have a ton of stuff to keep track of.
Yeah.
But just make sure they're not using anything that's like heavy duty exfoliating, like no retinols, no exfoliating acids. I mean, if they have acne, those things can help if they're in a regimen.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of teenagers tend to overdo it and they just like burn their skin off. So you just have to be careful with that. And I would say, yeah, cleanse, hydrate, sunscreen. If you're a parent and your kid like is interested in doing like more of the Sephora Kids stuff and their friends are into skincare, just get them like the cute packaging hydrating products. Like a hyaluronic acid serum is not really it's gonna just like make their face like feel moisturized and plump.
Yeah.
It's not gonna burn their skin off. Those little cute sheet masks or like the gold eye mask, like
Yeah.
those are fun.
They're not
gonna
causing
hurt
harm.
them. Exactly.
Ugh.
That's a way to, you know, be a cool mom.
Yeah. Engage without doing harm.
Right.
Oh, that's so smart. I think what I've realized today is that maybe I need to like just go on Etsy and buy myself some cute jars to put my Cetaphil in.
And my cousin chemist friends would say has not been tested for stability.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry. That's just an educated risk that
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm gonna get, you know how like on the tissue box, like you can get like a thing to put your tissue box inside of? I need to get like a cover.
Yes.
Basically, I don't want to see your shitty branding.
I know.
Guys.
They just need a better graphic designer. They need some cute packaging.
Right?
I mean, this is $1 million idea.
This is more than $1 million idea. Like they could literally have an offshoot brand that is the same stuff on the inside with different packaging.
You know what? No one cares about moms.
Nobody cares about moms. But they could also be selling it to those teenagers too.
That's true. That's true.
Just lie to me, you know? Tell me it's different. So for you, at this stage in your career, you've got a project that you're working on that you'll be able to talk about at a later date. You've got 3 kids, one of whom is a tiny little nugget of a potato baby, and you're grinding it out with your husband. What are sort of the big things that you guys either are having to reassess? Like, are there things that you fight about or argue about or disagree about, or is like everything just like we're just chugging along right now?
I mean, we definitely fight. Our nanny went on vacation for 10 days, and the last 3 days was a very negative time for us.
Everybody's just limping.
Tensions were high. But I think the fact that we met in the hospital, that we were interns together, which is like, it's teamwork. So we actually can get a lot of things done without speaking. We sort of have like this weird ESP.
Interesting.
Where it's like we both like go into action and we just like are both taking care of stuff and it gets done. Wow. So that we're in that mode a lot more now with the third.
Yeah.
Both of our older daughters are in a Montessori school.
Nice.
We love. And you'll love this because I was going to hobble together because I'm starting work next month, hobble together my mom and our nanny. And it was stressing me out so much, the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
That I decided to have him start daycare early.
Correct.
And
great.
The second I sent that email, I felt the weight lift off.
Yeah.
But I had the mom guilt. I'm like, You're too young. Should I be keeping him home? It's cold season, da da da. And so he's going to start next month.
Amazing.
At the same school that the girls are at. So it's one drop off.
He's going to love, they're going to see him. He's going to see them.
And there's other babies.
Yeah.
He's super social. It's better than being in a carrier with me for like 8 hours a day. It's not fun for him.
And the predictability. I mean, kids love routine and predictability. For him to know he's going to the same place every day, if you can work that out, that's an amazing thing to give to him.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. So, and then we have an after school nanny. His pickup is at 4.
Key. Yeah.
Which is like, if you work, that's a very early time.
Sure is.
So she helps us with a lot of the household duties.
God bless her.
Laundry, dishes, grocery shopping. And then I have time to sort of be present with my kids.
Yeah.
And like have the energy to be like, you guys want to play a card game?
Wow.
And we do that. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, it's more than I would do when I was like trying to like figure out how to cook dinner and wash the dishes and do all of that stuff.
No, it's amazing.
So we outsource, and it makes our lives much happier, and we fight less, a lot less.
Key. I joke that like our housekeeper is like the reason why we aren't fighting constantly.
I actually told my nanny when she came back from vacation, I'm like, you're the reason why we're still married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, you know it deep in your soul. We need help. We weren't built, families weren't built to just completely do this in their own little units.
There's too much to do.
Yeah.
And so that's what I tell like my friends that are sort of like, my husband this, my husband that, they're kind of griping. I'm like, I don't really think it's necessarily always just him.
Yeah.
It's the fact that there's just too much for two people that are working and doing all these other things in life to do.
Yeah. It's true.
So.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I love that your story is one where you somehow managed to take these like very clear values that your parents gave to you about being self-sufficient, about doing something that you care about, but doing it at a very high caliber. And you've also figured out how to build in taking some risks and doing things yourself, even though they said don't be risky. Right. You figured out how to do it in your own way. That's all my husband. Okay, great. Yeah. Well, then that's a good compliment. Yeah. And then also you've introduced this whole, like, I'm not going to do it all thing. I'm going to figure out how to prioritize what matters the most to me. And if my kid wants to go to school looking like a geisha with the sunscreen, like, that's fine too.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really refreshing when you listen to a high achiever who's doing a lot and is super busy, and they just are very open about the fact that they're actually not doing it all. I really appreciate that. So this was wonderful. Is there anything you want people to know about you or where they can find you? I mean, I know you have such a fun Instagram account, which I'm going to share with everyone in the show notes. Is there anything you want people to be plugged in, or any bees in your bonnet or axes to grind for the parents out there with especially young kids right now?
Oh, God. You're not alone. I feel like I cry after drop off more than I like to admit. And I think that it's really hard. I think it's just like, it's hard to maintain your own identity and to feel excited about things outside of your kids and your family life. And so I really appreciate what you're doing to kind of inject some energy and joyfulness into doing that.
Thanks, Aegean.
Yes, I've been a fan of the pod, so I'm happy to be here.
Chuffed. We're happy to have you. And, you know, I would say I'll come visit in Santa Barbara, but I go there like once a year, even though it's like an hour away, because it seems like doing anything with children is just that much harder.
It's not worth it.
No,
right now it's
Thank you. You guys don't even go to the beach, which makes me feel great.
No, we stay on our block and we go to the library.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited for people to follow your Instagram account, to take some of this very, very practical advice we got today. I feel like we got some real concrete takeaways, everybody. And we're going to have a really fun show notes because there's going to be so much good stuff in there for everybody. This was wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Team, I need your help. If you love it here, please like and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribe to the Substack for full access to this episode's show notes and join the discussion. And of course, follow me on Instagram at mutha, mutha.life for a daily look at all things mother. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another Chat in the Closet. This podcast was produced by Mother Life, music by Ronan Landa. See you next time.